Wow, that's actually quite impressive. Although he's clearly combing his hair to the front to hide his receding hairline, the results compared to before are very, very good. Let's see what he did exactly to achieve this. When it comes to hair loss and hair regrowth, there are some great remedies out there that can make your hair come back again. And there are some great stories online of people like me who managed to regrow their hair without having a hair transplant. But unfortunately, there's also a lot of misinformation out there that may confuse you into what works and what doesn't. Or even worse, sometimes people just want to sell you their products, which would be okay if at least they worked. But most of the times they don't. So today we are going to look at a couple of YouTube videos about the topic of hair loss, react to them and try to debunk some of the myths and truths. Hopefully this will help you learn the most important things about the hair loss topic and have a laugh at some of these videos, as there's also a lot of funny stuff out there. So without further ado, let's start with the first video.
If you're struggling with hair loss or thinning and this has become a common sight, here are 3 products that are really going to help. Although we can't change any genetic factors, we can promote hair growth and slow down the hair loss process.
This is true. As of today, we still haven't been able to change truly any genetic factors in our body in order to stop hair loss. There are some treatments out there that are able to stop hair loss completely and even reverse it and restore your lost hair. We will discuss them in more detail later. But what all of these treatments have in common is just that, treatments. Since once you stop taking them, your hair goes back to what it was before. So you're not really curing hair loss, you're just treating it.
Especially if you're doing this early. First, you want to use a caffeine shampoo. Caffeine is a powerful ingredient that neutralizes the hair loss hormone DHT and increases the blood circulation within the scalp. This delivers oxygen and nutrients into the roots and extends the hair's growth phase. This shampoo also contains salicylic acid to unclog pores and remove dirt and impurities, helping new strands grow healthier and stronger.
Based on current research, caffeine can help to improve hair growth by protecting hair follicles from DHT and improving blood flow, which is thought to be good in order to increase the nutrient delivery to the hair follicles, which is of course necessary for the follicles to survive. But its effect is mild compared to medical treatments such as finasteride and Minoxidil. It can help your hair a little bit, but it does not stop hair loss completely. So I would never recommend using caffeine shampoo alone to combat hair loss, only in conjunction with another stronger and proven hair loss treatment like finasteride.
Then it's just as important to maintain the health of the hair strands when you start seeing the growth. Using a conditioner that has fatty acids and proteins will help strengthen the individual hair strands and protect it from damage. Afterwards, you want to follow up with a scalp tonic that provides an intense leave-on treatment. Just like the shampoo, it has caffeine and salicylic acid to gently exfoliate and stimulate hair growth. It also has deeply nourishing ingredients to provide essential nutrients to promote overall scalp health. We can't wait for you to try these out for yourself, and you can get all of them at SkinCupid.
Look, I don't want to be talking badly about this content creator, but she's obviously trying to sell you something. Instead of giving credible reasons as to how and why hair conditioner and serum can stop hair loss, she simply says things like it removes impurities, it has deeply nourishing ingredients, it provides essential nutrients, etc. Every time you hear such words, you should run away, as she's simply saying a lot without meaning anything. So no, sorry SkinCupid, we are not going to buy you shampoos or conditioners this time. Let's watch the next video.
How can you have such a beautiful girlfriend? You are effing bald. I saw it and I felt it and I was like, okay, I'm thinning, like my hair is like receding and I'm like, okay, I don't want to try to hide it. I'll just shave it. I just embraced it. Look at The Rock, Jason Statham, Vin Diesel. So many guys have issues with that. When you think about it, it's just hair and it doesn't define who you are.
This one is a very interesting video for me, and I think it can spark a debate in this community. First, I completely agree with the part that you don't really need hair in order to find a beautiful girlfriend or boyfriend. There are other factors that play a bigger role, such as being self-secure. Because let's face it, we all have our imperfections. But having said that, many people actually feel insecure because of hair loss. Most people losing hair just put on a hat and look to avoid the issue. until it's too late. And going one step beyond, I've met people like him that were saying their whole lives that they are okay with losing hair and end up getting a hair transplant. I'm more of the philosophy of at least being aware of the alternative treatments that are available out there, such as finasteride, minoxidil or the Derma roller. And most importantly, you should also know that the longer you wait, the worse the results will be. So if you act sooner, you will be more likely to recover 100% of your lost hair. And if you wait years to react like me, you will not be able to recover some parts of your hair, in my case, the temple area. So do a lot of research and make the decision as soon as possible. Use these treatments if it's something you think that could work for you. But don't avoid it. Never avoid it, or you will end up regretting it. Let's go to the next video.
I lost my hair bad like 2 years ago from today. This used to be my hair, yeah.
Wow, that's actually quite impressive. Although he's clearly combing his hair to the front to hide his receding hairline, the results compared to before are very, very good. Let's see what he did exactly to achieve this.
I remember being in that stage of my hair, and the only thing that I wanted to do was regrow my hair naturally without a transplant. And I did it.
Okay, so here's where we have to be careful about the wording. What does it mean to regrow your hair naturally? There's no such thing as a natural hair regrowth, since you will be always using some treatment in order to make your hair grow again. For me, natural can also mean to try to use some non-invasive plant-based treatments such as saw palmetto. The only problem is that there's a huge evidence that supports that these treatments don't really work, even less so if your hair looks like this. So I really hope he doesn't suggest he regrow his hair with any plant-based serums.
And I did it. I think the hardest thing that people don't talk about when regrowing your hair naturally is consistency. Man, it was hard to stay consistent. I wanted to make this video basically to tell anyone who's trying to regrow their hair to stay consistent with the routines, even if they're doubtful with it. There's a lot of tips and tricks that I want to teach you that I learned on how to regrow your hair, especially number one, how to do it. So stay tuned.
I don't like this post. He's touching on a very important point though, that in order to achieve hair regrowth, you need to be very consistent in any treatment you end up choosing, whether it's finasteride, minoxidil, microneedling or all combined. But he's not mentioning what exactly he's using, which is something I hate. But let's see if we find more videos of this user where he tells what he's using exactly. Okay, so I found a couple of more videos.
Liquor beats on the grind, bro.
Oh my god. Rosemary oil, pumpkin seed oil and castor oil. Let me tell you, don't waste your time and money on these oils. He's not saying directly that those oils regrew his hair, but he's kind of implying it by saying it helped to get from this to that. There's no serious evidence that shows that these three oils help to stop hair loss. The only thing close to that is one study that compared rosemary oil with minoxidil at a 2% concentration. The study claimed that rosemary oil was more effective, but the way the study was conducted is very poor and it isn't taken seriously in the scientific community. Moreover, it was compared with minoxidil 2%. Normally, the over-the-counter minoxidil that you can find and use at home has a 5% concentration. So you can expect much better results by using that minoxidil than rosemary oil. As of the other two, pumpkin seed oil and castor oil, nah, don't waste your money on them. We have one last video of this user which I think is relevant.
I got a hair transplant.
Oh, he got a hair transplant now. This is very recent. It's only a couple of weeks old. Wait, I thought you said you wanted to regrow your hair naturally.
I remember being in that stage of my hair, and the only thing that I wanted to do was regrow my hair naturally without a transplant. And I did it.
Nah, you need to be clearer about your intentions to the public. But let's give him a chance. Let's see what else he's got to say about that. Maybe we are misunderstanding him here.
All the hairs have pretty much kind of
fell out. It's been officially a month since my transplant.
Alright, remember what I told you? That although impressive, he's combing his hair to the front to hide his hair loss. Here in this post-hair transplant, you can actually see his true extent of what his hairline looked like.
I'm able to do everything normally now. I just can't have it too much in the sun, so I have to wear hats. Other than that, I could do Minoxidil and finasteride. I'm back.
Ah, okay, now we are talking. Minoxidil and finasteride. That's another thing. At least now he's admitting that he's using the two most powerful hair loss treatments that you can find out there. Not pumpkin seed oil or castor oil.
I'm back on everything. I could work out. I could sleep normally. Pretty much just waiting here for the hairs to grow back and that hairline to be looking fresh.
Yeah, it's probably gonna look nice afterwards.
I want to give a quick shout out to my boy Gary and the whole team for doing the transplant process so smooth for me, showing me exactly what I need to do when I got home, and just making the whole experience nice and easy. Yes.
Oh, so he did the hair transplant with Dr. Gary Linkov. I like this guy. If you ever want to see quality content about hair loss treatments, hair transplants, then go visit his channel. You can trust what this guy tells you. And having had a hair transplant with Dr. Gary Linkov, I'm sure that he's going to see amazing results. Okay, this is funny. Let's go watch the next video.
The main reason that celebrity men are so much more good looking than regular men you see in real life is that they regularly get hair transplants. Take Harry Styles, for example. At age 16, you can see his original hairline. It's quite low and his hair is extremely thick, so that's the baseline. Then, just a few years later, at age 20, you can see that his hairline has really gone back at the corner. It's not that noticeable at this point, but then at the age of 25 in 2019, you can see it's gone way back. The hair loss is progressing.
Yeah, it's true that you can see Harry's hair recede a little bit, especially in the left and in the right temple area. This is still a conservative rate of hair loss, so I don't think there's any thinning on the crown yet. And it could indicate that he's still at a 2 on the Norwood scale. But let's see what else she's got to say.
And then in 2023, he buzzed his hair, and I knew then that a hair transplant was coming. And this year in 2024, we can see that corners of his hairline have moved forward. The person who did this transplant is a genius because he didn't make the mistake of trying to give him his original hairline back. He just brought it forward that little bit to make a difference, but not so much of a difference that it would be so obvious.
This is very much speculation on her side at this point, as I first don't see very much of a difference. I think his hair looks the same, only he's managed to style it in a way that looks less receding. If you're like him, it's something you can definitely achieve by combing your hair to the front. And I know this because it's something I personally also do when I have the hair at his length. Or another good example is the actor Jude Law, especially when he was younger. So no, if you ask me, there's absolutely no sign of him having had a hair transplant. And this is something I see a lot of people just speculating without solid proof. Don't believe everything you hear or see on the internet, guys. I believe we have one last video. Wow. This video is amazing and a good example of how women can also suffer from hair loss. In her case, it looks like she had alopecia areata, which is a different type of hair loss, unlike the common genetic hair loss, also called androgenetic alopecia. And what she has achieved is incredible, especially because alopecia areata is very difficult to treat. Sometimes you can just wait and it fixes itself without any treatments, but often the treatment involves taking immunosuppressant medications which are quite strong and can weaken your body defenses. That's why many people choose not to use them. In my case, I have androgenetic alopecia on top, but I also suffer from alopecia areata. Yeah, I know. Although not on my scalp like her. I had it several times on my beard. Here you can see a good example of it. It creates a bald spot where there was previously hair, and it's a pain in the ass to deal with. Now it's cured, but alopecia areata can come back anytime. So yeah, I'm double cursed with the genetic hair loss and alopecia areata. Okay, that's all for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, share this video and give it a like. That really helps the channel to grow. And by the way, we are getting really close to 100,000 subscribers. So if you haven't already, lend me a hand and subscribe. See you in the next one with more interesting videos like this. Bye.